We're back, another episode of MPTV, but guess what? We don't just close down restaurants and bars. We're closing down the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Show in Orlando, Florida. I got a guest. I got Rev.
Hi.
What's up, brother?
Everybody, good to see you.
So
I mean, it is literally collapsing around us.
This table's going to be taken away any minute. So, Rev, tell the internet land who you are, what you do, all that good stuff.
I do a number of things. My name is Rev Ciancio. Hi. I own a quick service hamburger joint in New York City. We do smash burgers, French fries, craft sodas, craft beers. But I'm also a hospitality marketing consultant. So I help restaurants to stand up and run their marketing programs.
Love it. Now you said you got my heart there like when you said craft sodas.
Okay.
We were at a place last night in Orlando, one of our clients, a brewery. I don't drink, but I love craft sodas. And I said, man, how cool would it be if you had a little glass thing here with some different root beers and some cream sodas. What kind of craft sodas do you guys do?
So we have about 9 craft sodas right now. We're using all Boylan's products. We all argued over which is our favorite craft soda company, and Boylan's was the one we could all agree on. But we have creamy red birch beer. We don't have sarsaparilla.
I love birch beer.
Yeah, I want sarsaparilla in there. We don't have that. We have grape. We have cherry, cola, cane cola, a lemon lime. We have an array of Boylan's in there.
So why that and not Pepsi or Coke?
So, interesting story. So we get a lot of feedback from people that say, oh, this place is really expensive. They don't take into the fact that we're 2 blocks from Times Square, our rent is through the ceiling, right, and things like that, and that we're using certified Angus beef, which is the top 10% of beef in America, and we're using a specialty chipperbeck potato. We've taken the same thing that you might get at Five Guys or another larger concept, and everything is a higher ingredient.
Okay.
And so we're like, well, we can't think about our hamburger in this particular way and our French fries in this particular way and then not apply the same thinking to how we source our sodas.
Love it.
So we wanted to keep everything had to be highly curated. And then as it relates, people keep saying, oh, you're so expensive. I actually went and I ordered a double cheeseburger, fries, and a Coke from Five Guys. And then I ordered a double cheeseburger, fries, and a craft soda from my restaurant. We were 50 cents cheaper, okay, with serving higher quality ingredients, which means maybe we should need to
raise the price
a little, number one. But then just for a laugh, I then ordered a Big Mac fries and a Coke from the McDonald's that's a block and a half from us, and it was $4 more. So we just wanted to serve a better product at what we thought was a fair price.
Well, I love it. Well, I'm a big craft soda guy because if I'm going to drink soda, I want to have something that's really good.
Are you a red birch beer or a white birch beer guy?
Red.
Red, okay.
I love it. So
delicious.
Good. So talk about your past with regards to marketing, because a lot of our viewpoints align. I sat in one of your sessions, which you crushed it yesterday.
Thank you. I think yours were really good too.
Thank you. And there's not many times I go to these food shows where my marketing philosophies align with people, because they're talking about direct mail and they're talking about how people still open it. And I'm like, okay, whatever. You had a lot of things that align with what I said. Talk about some of your philosophies and where it's rooted at.
Sure. So other than practicing what I preach is doing it at the shop, but I've helped hundreds of restaurants with their marketing over the years. And, I think there's this independent operators see themselves as not being able to do the things that the big boys do. And I mean, you said this in your presentation, but there are tools available that allow you to operate just like McDonald's from a marketing standpoint that are pennies on the dollar. Yeah. And so I was years ago, I'm going to go figure all those things out. I'm going to go, on my podcast, I interview the heads of marketing for very large chains, and I ask them all these questions, and I think about how can we use this? Yeah. How can independent operators and small mom and pop shops or growing multi-unit brands do the same type of marketing at an independent level? And it's really much easier than people think it is. Yeah. They have a tendency to overthink it. So, I just applied the thinking that what if I had $1 million budget, what would I do? Sure. Okay, how do I do it with $100?
Yeah. The part I love, and I said this in a podcast about a month ago, I said, we know where they're at. You know where the consumers are. My background in the 90s is radio. Back in 1999, if I was talking to Ferrari's Little Italy in Madeira, Ohio, great little place, Mama Bassana lasagnas, unbelievable. They had, okay, are we going to be on Q102, 97.3, EBN, WUBE, WGRR, Warm 98, or Fox on FM? Then I'll know maybe we're AM. We're on KRC, we're on WLW, we're on 1530, 1360, or do we go cable, TV, direct mail? You had to actually think, where the hell are these people at? Where is my customer listening or watching? I don't think anybody that can't understand that customer today is either on text, email, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube.
Yeah.
Or the internet.
The internet.
And it's all in your damn palm. And I'll never forget when I got my first iPhone, Sean Walchap talks about this because I guess it's the same day his son was born. I was in Las Vegas the week after it came out, back in, I think it was 2007, and I got the iPhone. And I remember just like looking at it like, holy shit, like, this is my laptop. And then everybody complained the batteries go dead. And I'm like, well, it's your laptop in your hand. But I mean, is there any doubt? I mean, when you talk to restaurants, is there still people wondering about putting their business online still?
So we actually did a study. We have a couple of data analytics tools we can use. And we went in and looked and said, okay, show me all of the restaurants in America, right? All of them, independence chains, every single one. Now, show me all the ones who don't have Facebook. Show me all the ones that don't have Instagram. The numbers were shocking. It was something like 40% of restaurants out there weren't on Instagram, and something like only 60% had Facebook. I was like, how do you not even have, even have Facebook? Like, it's been around now for, I don't know, 15, 20 years.
2009, 2000, yeah. I mean, 2008, 9 was when I started doing it with restaurants. So it was around a year or two before that.
So it is actually shocking how many restaurants. I think we're about to get taken out here. Maybe not.
Yeah, you got a forklift driving. I love it.
He's an expert. He's good.
This guy's an expert. I know. Peter's got to move. We interrupt this programming for an important message from a guy on a Sunbelt Mitsubishi forklift. Peter, the camera operator, almost got murdered. But no, it is funny though, because I don't know if you saw the stat I showed yesterday. We have our website, americasbestrestaurants.com/stats, that when we visit restaurants, like I visited one today, 3 others this past week, I audit them and put them in there. And it's still 24% of restaurants do not have a mobile-friendly website. I'm like, how is that possible? Like, where do you think people are looking at your menu? You think they're on a desktop with AOL?
No, the one that gets me, and you talk is the PDF. Like, I understand why they do it, because they're like, they think they're saving time. They're designing the PDF because they're gonna put it in front of you, but then it's easy to just update it on the website, and it's such a mistake. First of all, it's so hard to look at on a phone.
Oh my God.
People think people don't want QR codes. They definitely don't want PDF menu. Like, that's impossible. And secondly, and this is a marketing thing, Google, Yahoo, and Bing cannot read what's on a PDF. So if you want to be searchable for the things that are on your menu, you're doing yourself no service.
I mean, if somebody goes on Google and you have a PDF and you have badass mushroom jalapeno burger, and somebody's like, who has an awesome mushroom jalapeno burger? We've all searched something strange with food. You're not coming up. And it's because you do not have it. I tell you the thing I saw a restaurant was doing, and I've heard this from a couple people. Number one, they didn't go back to printed menus. They said, hey, everything's online. Scan this, go to our menu. But the one guy, what he's kind of comboed it with, he said, my biggest problems with menus were, number one, my prices were changing so much the past couple of years. Number two, I couldn't adjust on the fly. And number three, the fact that everybody's accustomed to going online, let's keep it there. He has a sheet that every week when he gets his PFG order in, he updates that sheet with all his pricing, and that Google sheet populates his menu on his website, and so that his food changes every week. So if the burger was $9.63 last week, it might be $12.04 this week, it might be $15, but it's all based on his exact margins. And that's what I always crack up with a lot of businesses. When I was in the boat business, when we bought a Skeeter ZX21, it was that price. Like, I could order them for the next 12 months for that exact price. There was no shift. When you buy meat for your burgers and potatoes, it's all over the place. And if you're using that PDF, it doesn't give you the option of even doing that.
No, and we at my restaurant, we actually automate the whole thing. So we have Toast as our POS, and then we use Marquee to help us with all of our listings.
Yep, and they were here today.
Yeah, all I have to do is update Toast. It has a link to Marquee. Marquee picks up the data, and then Marquee updates Google, Bing, Yahoo, Yelp, Foursquare, Apple Maps, Sirius, like 75. And again, we talk about having enterprise level solutions at an independent operator price. It's $89 a month.
Yeah.
And it takes me this amount of time. Everything's perfect.
So in closing, before they pack us up, what's your big takeaway from the show? Something you heard, even something maybe you said on stage. Like, I've commonly been speaking and been like, oh shit, that's a good idea. Like, what was something that you're taking away from this show and back to your clients?
So definitely picked up from you and a little bit from Zach Oates as well. Was like, man, I think some of the restaurants out there are actually even still far more behind than I thought we were. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to me that a restaurant might not have Facebook, might not have a mobile optimized site. I understand why they might not be doing advanced marketing, but like, there's a couple small things that every restaurant could do that are easy and they don't. And I thought we were further ahead along than we were, and I don't mean to be like a doomsayer, but like I think it's important for people like you and people, me and Zach, and who are out there trying to help restaurants make this easy. And so, you know, I would tell any operator that's hearing this is like put an hour in your week and dedicate it to marketing, and just like pick one thing, get that thing going, then pick another thing, like just start doing it.
And you know what they ought to do? They ought to do what they did, they should do what they didn't do recently. I had an appointment 2 days ago that didn't show up, which cracks me up. You had one that didn't show up, and I always tell people, like, you're an operator. The Revs of the world are talking to all of your competitors. They're in the know-how on all this stuff. Even if you don't have the budget to spend with them, be upfront. I might not be in the market where you do now, but I want to know who you are. I wouldn't hang up on anybody. I'd give my 30 minutes to somebody to help them out. And next thing you know, you have those conversations, 10, 15, 20 of those every year. You become a hell of a lot smarter.
Yeah, I didn't get good at this overnight. This is like 20 years of learning this little thing, that little thing.
It wasn't like, oh shit, restaurant market, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Thanks,
Awesome.
brother.
I sincerely
It was good
appreciate
to finally meet you in person.
Likewise.
That's all we
For
got.
sure.
MPTV, for God's sake. Get rid of the damn PDFs. I'm
gotta
out.